recap. Inferno Revival against an Iraqi gang was actually pretty good. You'd think by the difference in stars at the end that they were not that good, but it was a lot closer than this until the last few minutes, and their top still had an attack left with huge war armies trained in their camp, so we really expected them to try to pull a last minute surprise. So we all had to pull in at the last minute and get those final 3 stars on the Town Hall 9s, and even in Town Hall 10 in the last 2-3 minutes. So it was a very fun war to do. We had a lot of guests over from Karate Monkeys to make it a nice 40-40 war, and they showed. They did a very good job. And I'm going to show you a couple of bowler attacks because I had a request for that, a bit of bowler strategy and how you do that. I'm going to show one base, I think it's number 5, where we did both a bowler and a mass minor attack, and I want to show you the difference on those two. But to start off, I think it's best to start a bit lower than that with a beautiful giant bowler healer hog attack, by the book executed on, let's see, 22 it was. So let's, without further ado, have a look at that because it was very nicely executed. And you'd think that double wall there is basically built to make sure that nobody uses that as an entry, which for a lot of players, good players, is an open invitation to actually use that to come in anyway, because it's not the expected way that people go in. So you throw in a couple of giants, get the bowlers right behind them, because as you can see, even now the bowlers are still being protected by the giants. The Clan Castle Dragon is trying to spit on the giants, who can take a beating. Because as you can see, most of them are still alive, especially thanks to the healers behind them. So the bowlers do all the destruction, get them to the core. And once they're in the core, you can start sending in the hogs. You got a nice little baby dragon in there as well. But once you got the core done, where most of the heavier stuff is, that's the end of it really. And then the cleanup phase, you note that he has 2 wizards left, nice heal spell left. Because it may not appear to be that much troops are still alive, but it's more than enough to make sure that you clean up everything nicely. And as you can see, the giants and bowlers are still there, they're still doing it. So if you send them in to the core properly, have the bowlers protected by healers and the giants in front of them, it's a very strong attack. That was beautiful. Now back to the mass bowler attacks. Let's just go to my team, the attacks. Because the first attack by one of our guests, as you can see, he's not in the clan right now, he's back to Karate Monkeys, was a mass bowler attack on this weird design. And I think these designs are made mostly to make it very difficult to get to the town hall. So these bases, there's one rule: a funnel. If you don't do a funnel right, you're not going to get to town hall. You're not going to get anything except maybe a 1-star. And in these kind of wars, 1-star, that's not enough. So he made the funnel on the outside, nice jump on the corner. Inferno doing a lot of damage there. The traps are doing a lot of damage there. But it looks very nicely. He's getting to the core, you'd say. But the Tesla, the X-Bow, they distract to the outside again, and Town Hall remains untouched. It may be possible to do the same via the Clan Castle side, because that is very close to Town Hall, and it may pull them all the way to Town Hall. But here's clearly the problem with these kind of bases. How do you get to Town Hall? A couple of skellies in there, X-Bows on the far end, set to ground, so even if you get to the core, you're not getting Town Hall. So although it was a very nice execution of a mass bowler attack, it was a 1-star only. Okay, let's do this same base, but with mass miners. Because I have max miners, and I use them here to take this base out. Let's have a look. That's just the 4-finger salute for this base. I brought in the dragon and the minions in the clan castle to take out the air troops coming from the CC. They're in the midst of poison right now, except for the baby dragon, which is the most dangerous part of the clan castle there. And my dragon and my heroes are engaging them, while the miners are basically cleaning out the entire base. And once the clan castle there is gone, my draggy and a couple of minions, they're on the core. So same as miners, by the way. No need to funnel, no need to do anything, just 4-finger salute this base to goodbye, and there you go. There's so many miners left at the end. For this base type, miners is just sit back and enjoy win. Just make sure you got the popcorn ready. The king tanking a bit, but it's all futile because there's so much left. Now another good mass bowler with a lot of funneling fun is Fam's attack on number 1. Let's have a look. And again, the trick is to make sure you set up a funnel with a couple of bowlers a healer, another couple of bowlers a healer. So you clean out 2 jumps in this case, a good path to the core, where your main force of bowlers goes. Again, giants in front, make sure they tank, which is a lot harder for a Town Hall 11 base than it was on the compared to the Town Hall 9 we saw earlier. Again, air troops in the CC, but once the bowlers are in the core, enraged, freezing the Infernos to make them shut down a little bit. Just for a few seconds, enough to destroy them. Eagle gone. There, when you're in the core, you're killing enough for a good solid 2-star. And the real fun part is that if 1 or 2 bowlers walk away on the outside, it's fine. It's really okay, because as you can see, the heroes are quickly dying right now. But there's 1 bowler left on the right. And on the left is down. All the healers are going on that 1 bowler there. And this 1 single bowler is going to take us from 52% all the way to far above the 60. As you can see, he's going to go on bowling for a minute and a half still on his own, carrying the rocks around. So I'm going to speed it up a little bit, because otherwise you're going to fall asleep. Because nothing else is going to happen, but bowler's going to throw a lot of bowlers, healers healing them when he's getting fire from the archer tower there. 57, 58, 59 at quad speed, so it really takes a long time. 62, 64, 65, all the way up, yes, to 67%. That makes it a very nice 2-star, especially for the percentage on number 1. And I guess that concludes my recap for this day. Showed the mass bowlers a bit, showed the miners a bit. Oh, who cares, 1 more. Let me scout this base and show you, because the first attack also by Fam was on the top, Again, sending two sets of bowlers or healers behind and main force in. And he picked this side of the base because he figured that this looked trapped. It looked like there was a Tesla farm there, giant bombs, and everything you don't want to run into. Combined with a lot of hit points per second on the defenses. So he thought I'd go up, and he basically ran into the same problem. Couldn't get to Town Hall, which is, as you can see, very well protected by the two Teslas, two Infernos, but also by the range of the X-bows. And from the top as well. They all cover the Town Hall, so you basically have to clear out all four sides before you get anywhere, and even then you have to get to the Town Hall first. Knowing, however, that the Teslas were not near the Eagle at the bottom, but near the Town Hall, it meant that the entry on the bottom would become far more interesting. So I decided to send in 2 waves of miners and have the center taken out by the Clan Castle and the heroes. And if all would go well, then there would be enough to go to the center and take the Town Hall out. So I'm going to show you this. It's just a bunch of giants, a couple of wall breakers in CC. So if you ever see a war request for wall breakers in your CC, this is why. And the miners basically creating a huge funnel here, and also distracting most of the defenses there. So what you end up with is a dead eagle, a lot of miners being healed and everything, and enough miners and the heroes and the giants to go to the core where all the Teslas are. And I missed a freeze there, so that was, well, not smart. He had a golem in CC, so I could basically totally ignore that. And as you can see, despite the missed freeze spell, I had enough firepower in the core there to take out the Town Hall and get the 2-star there. And that was a nice attack as well. That concludes the war recap for this time. Thank you, Karali Monkeys, for visiting. We will be visiting them soon for their 200th war victory. And that'll be a fun war to do. We're going to do joint wars in the weekends more, because we're just having fun with these wars. Thank you guys, until next time.